Greetings to you all and welcome to this Let's Play of Time Crisis with me, Artega Omega, and its own opening.
It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Sertia. Get into the castle and rescue Rachel.
Sometime, somewhere, someone is plotting a government overthrow. A small republic is in danger. It's time for the one-man army. Richard Miller. She must be dead by now.
Don't come!
Rachel McPherson.
Since you have traveled so very far, be my guest and let me entertain you!
Cerudo Gatto. Just to be sure. Wild Dog. Time Crisis.
Your father will pay the price for destroying the Imperial rule!
So, hopefully that explains exactly what's going on in this game, what it is we have to do. However, if you're thinking, that didn't explain anything, I don't know what on earth it is I have to do, then fear not, the game puts in another briefing for you. When you start the mission, perhaps it would explain, no, not anything like that, that'd be too logical. If you want to find the other briefing of what has to be done, then you have to leave the menu screen going for so long that the following happens. Tutorial on how to play the game, you skip that because you don't want to watch that. Then you provoke another video to display, and here we go.
Richard, there's an emergency. There's been a kidnapping. It's Rachel, the daughter of the president of Sertia. The kidnapper is believed to be Cerudo, the last blood relative of the royal family. He lives in an old castle on the Northwest Island. He's demanding military secrets in exchange for Rachel's life. The deadline is sunset. We don't have much time. Get into the castle and rescue Rachel. The organized crime syndicate Wild Dogs is also known to be involved. Good luck, Richard.
So, clearly they couldn't decide which of the two openings they preferred, so they thought we'd just throw them both into the game, and that'll be absolutely fine. So there we go, you've seen both of those now. Felt only fair to show them both. First thing I'm going to do is mess about with the options, because of one particular setting over here in button configuration. And that is, I'm going to change the way my settings is. Now, I haven't mentioned this, because it hasn't come up yet, but here we go. You see in the top left-hand box, that's a gun. This game is played with the GunCon plugin for the PlayStation 1. It's also played in the arcade with a gun, but I'm obviously not in an arcade. So this is played with the G-Con light gun, or the GunCon, whatever you prefer to call it. And it makes it for quite a unique game, in my opinion. But a few things we need to change around. First of all, I need my buttons on the opposite way around. Second of all, I need my reload button to be press, not release, because it makes more logical sense and we get through the game faster. And I'm just used to it, that's fine. Other options which don't interest me, adjusting the screen. If you need to adjust the screen, something's wrong with your TV and you should address that matter yourself, not try to let your PlayStation fix it for you. Memory card, which is pointless because all it does is save high scores. And GunCon calibration, which I've already done, which just sets up the sights of the gun so it's correct, basically. Now, a couple of different ways we can take this game. Arcade is exactly as it sounds, it's the game you play in the arcade, and it's what I'm going through right now. Special is a special mode, funny that is available only for the PlayStation version of the game. I will be going through special mode, but I'm doing arcade first. If you only care about special mode, then skip ahead some videos. I'll post something in the description that says exactly when special mode starts, I don't know, but it will be explained. Anyway, on with the arcade mode, which gives us more options. Now we have Story Game, which is the normal game exactly as it's played in the arcade, and Timed Game where you just race against the clock. That's not particularly fun, but before bothering with that. It says we can shoot outside of the screen to set difficulty. That's very true, but we're not going to, because if you shoot outside of the screen it becomes easy. You only have a choice between easy and normal. We're already on normal, that'll do me just fine.
This nation will soon be mine! Ah, the taste of revenge is sweet. Your father will pay the price for destroying the Imperial rule. What happened?
We've been invaded.
What?
Never mind. My men will gun him down.
So, we touched loosely on what's going on before. We have to save that woman. Her name is Rachel. She's been kidnapped by Sherudo Garo, with a suspiciously American-sounding accent. But that's our objective, so we need to get to wherever they are. They seem to be in some kind of clock towery thing. We'll try and get over that way whilst we play through the game. Now, I'm just playing through the game as I explain mechanics, because that makes more logical sense to me, rather than just pause the menu and discuss absolutely everything, or listen to that horrendously long explanation video it offered us at the start of the game. That's a waste of time. The way the game runs is as follows. I shoot people with bullets. You can see bullets in the bottom left-hand corner. I have 6 of them at max. When I start to run low on bullets, I do this, which reloads my gun. That's wonderful. It's called hiding. The other advantage of hiding is that it lets you hide. Wonderful. When you are hidden, you cannot take damage, and watch this! If you do not wish to kill these people, you can blow up the box on top of that forklift truck and kill everyone in one shot. Wonderful. Well, it's not one shot, because it takes about 5 to blow up the box, but there we go. So when you're hidden, you cannot take damage, but obviously you cannot shoot, because you'd just be shooting a box, and this would be pointless. That's a crane, more on that later. So we have to shoot people only when we are exposed and can be shot ourselves. Point of ducking then is to dodge enemy fire and also to reload our gun. That's that explained. The crane, which was there, which is no longer there, which I'm now going to explain because it's a terrible time to explain the crane, is an obstacle. Obstacles will hit you if you do not move. By move, I mean duck or hide, whatever you want to call it. So if I just stayed stuck out, that would have smacked me right in the face and I would have lost 1 piece of health. That leads me nicely on to talking about health. Bottom middle of the screen. There we go. We have 3 pieces of health. And if we lose all of those, we die. Wonderful stuff. That's 2 levels down. I haven't even touched on any of these more advanced things, but there we go. Area 3 start. So we have 3 pieces of life. If they all go, then we lose... well, we lose a life. So I could have said 3 pieces of health, but whatever. Then we can use a continue to play again. We have 9 continues in all, I believe, or perhaps we have 8 continues and 9 lives in all, something like that. Hopefully we won't need them all. Now I'm doing a hell of a lot of explaining and not enough shooting, so let's take down a chopper, because it's easy to take down a chopper with a handgun when you are Richard Miller, who is just some generic bloke who has a pistol. But still surprisingly good. Next on the list has got to be chatting about the enemies who we are facing. Now, the most common enemy are the blue fellows. They have, I think it's about a 1 in 10 chance of hitting you per shot. And there's another secret bottom left corner there, was a box of grenades. You can blow that up and kill everyone on the screen, wonderful stuff. Blue guys have a 1 in 10 chance of hitting you when they fire a shot. If the bullet travels towards you and doesn't hit, it does nothing. It doesn't matter at all. But it can hit you and deal 1 life of damage, so that's worth worrying about. The brown guys are slightly better. They have about a 1 in 5 chance of hitting you, and the red guys basically never miss. There's more people, but we'll explain those later.
Don't come! It's a trap!
Let's ignore her.
Oh no!
Terrible plan. We saw a reference of this chap in the introduction video. He has a name, but it's never stated, so I don't care what it is. These are claw men, or as I call them, ninjas. If they jump towards you, they will slash at you, and if you let the slash hit you, you will take a point of damage. I'm not going to demonstrate what that looks like, because then I'd take a point of damage. Fortunately, the boss one is exactly the same as the others, but he takes 3 hits to kill. And you get to look very suave when you finish a stage. So that was a boss, a very short boss, a very uneventful boss.
It's all over. The girl's at the top of that tower. She must be dead by now.
Yes, it seems that if you shoot a man 3 times, he doesn't die. But if you punch him in the face, that's the end for him. We're going to keep going a little bit further. As far as we can, I suppose, before we run out of time, and then I shall pause the game and cut the video off. But for now, we'll keep plowing onward on this stage 2. There's 3 stages in all, and each stage has 3 areas of normal enemies and then a boss. So that's all wonderful, but we know where the girl is now. She was in that room to begin with, but she backflipped quite fancily on that chair. And if anyone's curious as to what happened there, I should explain momentarily, but there was the girl. We found her. That was wonderful. Bad move to open that door. Now they've taken her to the clock tower, which I referenced before, because I thought that's where we were going to begin with, but apparently not. Another choice of poor doors there. Poor wording as well to accompany it. Wonderful stuff. And that's the first point of damage. You get to see a huge blood-covered cursor envelop the screen when you take damage. Wonderful. Still 1 point of damage in 5 levels. We can live with that. So yes, she's in there. That's where we're going. Now that explosion you saw was a grenade. There are grenade fellows, and if a grenade reaches the front of the screen when you're there, curse you Mr. Red Man, then you will take 1 point of damage. The advantage against grenades is that A, they're slow, and B, you can shoot them out the air if you're feeling a bit fancy. A couple of other people to mention. Blue guys with shields are exactly the same as blue guys, but they have shields. Fancy that. Other people worth mentioning are green guys who have miniguns. If you let them fire at you long enough, they will hit you, and that scream is hilarious. Laugh at it, go on, it's great fun. That's a bazooka man in the back there. He's orange, he fires rockets, and when you kill him, he blows up a pillar that would crush his ally if the ally was still alive, but he was not because we shot him, poor fellow. And now it gets serious because it's dark. Final guy to mention is that orange fellow. If you shoot an orange chap, then you gain time. Usually 5 seconds, sometimes 4, sometimes 2. I don't know if there's anyone who gives 3, but it seems like there should be. Time is bottom middle once again. We haven't mentioned it. But if you run out of time, then you lose a life. Not just a hit, a life. I think I'm using the wrong word. I think a hit is a life, and a life is a credit, or a continue, because this is an arcade game after all. But whatever, you have to put more money in. There we go. Now, one of the reasons I played this game, other than the fact that I love it, absolutely adore this game, and have played it many, many times in my youth, and still think it's a pretty damn good game, is because it's relatively quick, which means I can do it in just a couple of videos, which is wonderful. Now, this was an arcade game. Its idea was to suck money out of you as fast as it could, and for that reason the game isn't that long, but it's pretty tricky. But if you played it long enough, you start to learn where the traps are, and how to dodge grenades like that. As soon as you're aware of all the tricks and traps the game throws at you, you'll do absolutely fine. You also take the odd point of damage and use the odd continue, but that's just the way of the world. Now, I do struggle on this screen, which is why I'm doing it quite so slowly, but we seem to have everything under control there, so that's all wonderful. I was aware of that red fellow, which gives me a slight advantage, and what I'm going to do now is get nearly shot, lose my reflection, and pause the game. I'm going to be cutting the video off here because I know what lurks around the corner, but if you want to know what lurks around the corner, then you're going to have to join me next time. Hopefully, you'll join me for that, and I shall see you then.